Just wanna say hi, buddy. Here we are. My name is Rihan, and this guy's name is Milu. Hi everyone, welcome to Rihan's channel. Here we explore Chinese culture, history, and more. Today we are going to talk about a topic you have likely encountered, the central role of money in Chinese society. You may have heard that during Chinese New Year, a common greeting is 恭喜发财, which means may you become rich, instead of saying Happy New Year. I saw an English stand-up comedy talking about this.
Chinese people fucking love money. Okay? You think rappers love money? Yo, we love money. More than anyone. Chinese people love everything about it. We love making it, love spending it, we love giving it, we love receiving it, we love throwing up in the air.
The funny point is that I saw it on Chinese social media. It was quite viral. Many Chinese people, including myself, we don't necessarily say this as mockery, but we are self-aware that our open pursuit of money can appear unique or even a little bit strange to outsiders. But first, the use of 恭喜发财 varies by region. I didn't do a thorough research of it. From my personal experience growing up in southwest China, perhaps we use it less frequently than people in the southeastern coastal regions. However, it's undeniable that money plays a crucial role in modern Chinese society. On social media, for instance, there is a noticeable trend of despising the romance-oriented mindsets. If someone, particularly a young girl, posts about heartbreak, the most common comments will often be, "Stop focusing on love, making money is what's important." If you ask a young person about their life goal, maybe 9 out of 10 the answer will be to be rich. This wish is even materialized in product designs, from phone cases to t-shirts, almost everything. In many ways, the pursuit of wealth is seen as a rational, respectable, and even righteous goal. Of course, the desire for a prosperous and stable life is universal. Money is important in every modern society. But in some other cultural traditions, the open pursuit of money is not as prominent or is sometimes viewed with ambivalence. So why does it hold such an exalted place in Chinese culture? Is there any historical reason? As an art history, the first artifact that comes to my mind is the bronze money tree from the Eastern Han Dynasty, which is the 25 to 220 AD. These were burial objects primarily found in southwest China, my hometown region. In fact, an even older prototype can be traced to the Sanxingdui archaeological site, dating back over 3,000 years. While scholars still debate their exact function and symbolism, these money trees clearly represent an early visualization and materialization of a wish for money. In other ancient cultures like Mesopotamia, sacred trees symbolize fertility and abundance. It has some similarities, but the direct representation of money itself is a distinct feature here. Another crucial historical figure is Cai Shenye, the god of wealth. He remains a vital deity in Chinese folk religion and Taoism, and his imagery has been widely adapted into modern pop culture. To clarify, Cai Shen isn't a single god, but rather a system of deities that became formalized during the Song dynasty from the 10th to the 13th centuries. This institutionalized worship of wealth has persisted for centuries and continues to this day. You might point out that many cultures have deities of fertility and prosperity. What makes Cai Shen unique is his specialization. His domain is exclusively money. He doesn't oversee harvest or love, just money. So, how do people worship him? The rituals vary widely by region, but a key date is the 5th day of the Chinese New Year, which is officially dedicated to welcoming Cai Shen. You can find shrines for him in both Buddhist and Taoist temples, from the most ancient to the newly built ones. What do we offer to the god of wealth? Interestingly, apart from burning incense, we donate money as well. This isn't unique to Caishen. In China, monetary donations are the most direct and common offering across almost all religious sites. But how deep does the belief go? For me and for many people I know, it's less about fervent faith and more about respect and participation. If I happen to encounter shrine, I might kneel, pray, or donate a small amount, but I wouldn't go out of my way to seek it. As an atheist, this is my general attitude towards most religious practices, and it's a very common one in China today. I can't speak for everyone, but this pragmatic approach is widespread. While the formal Caishen system solidified around 500 years ago, the cultural preoccupation with money is much older. We have texts that review its powerful role in society centuries earlier. A key example is the essay, The Adoration of Money, 钱神论, written during the Western Jin dynasty in the 3rd to the 4th century. It states, in its essence, money embodies the cosmic dual principles of heaven and earth. It can turn danger into safety and death into life. Among all people today, there is nothing but money. This essay only survives as a fragment, so the author's true intent, whether sincere or sarcastic, is debated. Nevertheless, it clearly shows that even 1,700 years ago, the near magical power of money was a recognized and prevalent social force. On a related historical note, the world's first official state-sanctioned paper money was issued in my hometown Chengdu in the 11th century, over 600 years before its appearance in Europe. For a long period, China was one of the wealthiest economies on the planet. While it's often portrayed as isolated, the reality is quite different. From the 16th century onward, China was deeply integrated into global trade. In fact, it became the primary destination for the vast amounts of silver mined by colonizers in the Americas. So, from ancient bronze trees to a global silver standard, the evidence is clear. Money has long held a pivotal and even sacred role in Chinese civilization. This brings us to the core question: why is this pursuit so open, and why is there so little shame associated with it? The answer is complex. On one hand, traditional Chinese philosophies often discouraged materialism. The Confucian social hierarchy, scholars, peasants, artisans, and merchants, 士农工商, placed the often wealthy merchant class at the bottom for over thousands years. On the other hand, there were also philosophical justification for the pursuit of wealth. The great historian Sima Qian, in his 1st century BC masterpiece Records of the Grand History, included a biographies of wealthy merchants. In it, he observed, all the hustle and bustle in the world comes with the pursuit of profit. All the comings and goings are driven by the desire for gain. By acknowledging this as a fundamental driver of human society, he, in a sense, gave a form of legitimacy to economic ambition. The philosophical and religious debates on the topic have continued throughout history, but for understanding the modern phenomena, I have a highly simplified personal explanation. We are, of course, a communist country. The fundamental state ideology is Marxism, which posits that the economic base determines the social and political superstructure. This is not an obscure theory, it's common knowledge taught from primary school to everybody. In this context, economic power is not just the personal success, it's linked to the very engine of historical progress. This widely permeated ideology, whether one fully believes it or not, provides a powerful modern confirmation for the legitimacy of money and the pursuit of material wealth. So, why did this almost religious faith in money develop? I think it stems from a deep-seated need for security in a world of constant change. As we have discussed in previous videos, China was historically a vast agriculture society. For the average person, life was highly depending on the whims of heaven and the stability of the land. Destinies rose and fell, bringing war and chaos. But for common people, life on the land remained largely the same. The emperor and the official ideology might change time to time, from Confucianism to Buddhism to Taoism, whatever, but none provided a permanent, solid foundation for the individual. In such circumstances, what was the most reliable thing? When dynasties collapsed, when beliefs were shattered and lands were ravaged, what could you rely on to preserve your family and rebuild your life? Money. It became a portable form of security. This need was brutally reinforced in China's modern century of humiliation. This period taught a harsh lesson to us. External institutions, ideologies, and even social connections are fragile. The only thing you could truly rely on was the resource you could hold in your own hands. For most, that meant money. This has become a kind of collective subconscious, a cultural trauma that emphasizes self-reliance through financial means. Today, while we live in a more stable society, it is intensely competitive. Money has become the most clear, most tangible measure of individual success and security. The pressures are very real. Consider a typical young couple in their 30s now, both owning children. They are responsible for 4 aging parents and are likely raising 1 or 2 children of their own. If their parents, perhaps from rural areas, face a serious illness without comprehensive health insurance, the financial burden can bankrupt the entire family. To house this extended family in a major city, they might need to buy an apartment costing about 2 million RMB, that means around 250,000 euros. Then what they can wish for? Of course, get rich. As for a single person, if you are a young man, want to establish your own family, then you need to know the bride price is still commonly practicing, which can range from tens to hundreds of thousands of euros. And the expectation to own a home before marriage is also essential. If fortunately your family can help for a down payment, you are still gonna face decades of debt. In this context, money isn't about greed, it's about survival, dignity, and fulfilling basic familiar obligations. It's the most urgent solution to the most fundamental problems. On a more psychological level, I would argue that the pursuit of wealth also fills a spiritual vacuum. While Confucianism once played a kind of religious role, it was never a dogmatic faith like Christianity. Its influence has also waned over the last century. For many modern Chinese, ultimate concerns about the afterlife or a supreme being have become blurred. In their place, money has emerged as a tangible, secular god, a concrete answer to the question of how to secure a good life here and now. Finally, this drive is deeply tied to our enduring value of family. Money, as the most recognizable symbol of success, is rarely just for oneself. It's for making your parents proud, making them therefore ask for a single room in the hospital when they needed to be hospitalized, and making your children show up in front of the other relatives in the best local schools' uniforms. In a word, money is not only about reality, it's also about the face. In a world of rapid change, financial success is how you secure your family's well-being and establish your own identity. I don't know if I have kind of explained this complex phenomena, but this is my try. I do feel that this intense focus on money is, in many ways, a reasonable response to our historical and modern realities. This very pursuit has been a powerful engine behind China's rapid economic development now. Yet, I also believe there are aspects of this mentality we could and should adjust. Finding a better balance is a challenge we are still navigating, but someday we will figure it out, I hope. Thank you for watching. I wish you have a lovely rest of your day and see you next time.